What if the secret to losing that old, stuck fat and waking up a sleepy mind was not in a medicine bottle? What if it was hiding in a kitchen ingredient you have looked past for years? We are about to open a hidden door in your body that controls energy, one that most people never discover. You see, many of us get to a place where we feel a deep separation from our old selves. It is not always a fast crash. It is more like a slow, quiet silence where the bright energy we used to have starts to disappear. You might look at a recipe you have cooked many times and realize the fog in your head is not just a bad day. It is like an uninvited guest who won't leave. It feels like a break in your energy system, a gap between wanting to live a full life and your body actually having the fuel to do it. People often tell us that as we get older, our battery just naturally gets old and weak. We hear that brain fog, low energy, and stubborn fat are just the price we pay for aging. But ask yourself this: what if the battery is not broken? What if it is just hungry for the right kind of gas? Today, we are going to look at the exact science that proves this wrong. We will look at 5 specific facts. We will start with a basic fuel source you probably missed and move to a smart timing trick that changes how your body handles dinner. You really need to stay with me until the very end for revelation number 1. It is the absolute biggest secret. It explains why your brain might be fighting your efforts to get healthy. It also shows how a specific part of vinegar can basically hotwire your energy system back to life. It is the missing piece for so many of us over 60. I have a quick and important reminder before we start. All the information we share today is for learning purposes. Every person has a different health situation. So please talk to your doctor or medical provider before you make big changes to your food, exercise, or health plan. This is especially true if you have existing health issues or take medicine. Let's use this knowledge to have smart talks with them. Let's start bringing your energy back. We begin with a basic building block that helps your brain's power grid. This first idea is often seen as something only for young weightlifters in their 20s, but that is a huge mistake. We are talking about creatine, but we need to see it in a totally different way, which is for your brain. As we get older, our mitochondria, which are the little power plants in our cells, sometimes have a hard time using glucose well. When your brain cannot get energy from sugar fast enough, you feel that foggy senior moment. It is like trying to run a fast computer on a battery that is blinking on and off. However, this is where creatine acts as a vital backup generator. To really understand this, let's use a comparison. Imagine your brain is a house. Usually, it runs on the main power lines, which is glucose, but sometimes a storm comes. This storm could be stress, aging, or a slow metabolism. The power lines flicker. Creatine is like a big backup generator sitting in the basement. It stores a type of fast energy called phosphocreatine. When the main power flickers, this backup turns on right away in milliseconds to keep the lights on. Therefore, for us, this is not about big muscles, it is about brain power. By keeping enough creatine stored up, you give your brain a different, fast fuel source that does not need glucose. This means when your blood sugar goes up and down, your brain has a safety net. Now, when you think about adding something like creatine, it is important to be careful. If you have kidney issues or take certain medicines, check with your doctor. But for many people, a simple, high-quality creatine monohydrate can be a tool to keep the mental lights shining bright. Now that we have secured the backup battery, we need to look at the fuel gauge. This leads us to key strategy number 4, the protein leverage hypothesis. This explains why you might feel hungry even after a large meal. The battle inside is real. You eat, you feel full for an hour, and then you are looking in the kitchen again. Why? It is because your body does not just count calories, it counts nutrients. Specifically, amino acids. However, here is the interesting twist. Your hypothalamus, which is the brain's control center, works with your liver like a security team. They scan every bite you eat. They are looking for a specific amount of protein. If you eat 1,000 calories of toast and jam, the security team says, "We have not seen enough protein yet, keep eating." You will feel driven to eat calories until that protein need is met. Think of this like putting gas in your car. Imagine the pump had a sensor that only stopped when it felt high-octane fuel. If you keep pumping in low-grade air or fumes, which represent empty carbs, the tank spills over. But the sensor never clicks off, you keep pumping and pumping. This creates a mess of extra body fat, but the car still feels empty. Therefore, the plan is to put the high-octane fuel in first. We have learned that the body looks for about 0.6 grams of protein per pound of body weight as a goal to finally say, "Okay, I am done." When you reach this level, the liver stops sending the panic signal. This signal is a molecule called FGF1 that causes cravings. By eating quality protein early in the day, you are manually flipping the hunger switch to OFF. We have the backup battery ready and the hunger switch is off. Now, we need to talk about protection. Essential habit number 3 is all about the timing of your secret weapon, apple cider vinegar, to shield your system from too many carbs. The problem happens later in the day. Many of us like a dinner that has more carbs like potatoes, rice, or maybe some pasta. However, later in the day, our ability to handle insulin naturally goes down. We are not as good at handling sugar as we are in the morning. However, this is where the smart timing of apple cider vinegar helps. You can think of vinegar as a glucose guard or a doorman at a busy club. Without the doorman, the crowd, representing sugar, rushes in all at once. They trash the place and cause chaos, which is an insulin spike. But when you have acetic acid, the magic part of vinegar, before that meal, it acts like a strict doorman. It slows down the digestion of starch. It makes the crowd enter in a single line. Therefore, the effect on your blood sugar is much softer. Top research suggests that having this doorman there can change how your body handles that whole meal. And there is a second part to this timing, pre-workout. We have sensors in our mouth called TRP receptors. When they taste the bite or sourness of vinegar, they send a signal to the brain. This wakes up the nervous system. It triggers a tiny, safe release of adrenaline. It is like hearing the starting gun before a race. It gets your body ready to move and burn fat. So, taking a small amount before your daily walk or gym trip can physically and mentally prepare you for better movement. Now, a gentle warning: never drink it straight, it is very strong. Always mix a tablespoon in a tall glass of water to protect your teeth and throat. We are getting closer to the heart of the mystery. Crucial secret number 2 takes us deep inside your cells to the mitochondria. You have likely heard them called the powerhouse of the cell, but for us seniors, battery is a better word. Over decades, these batteries can get rusty. In a state of insulin resistance, which is very common as we age, the mitochondria have a hard time accepting fuel. They are there, but they are sleeping. They are like an engine that just will not start. However, the acetate found in apple cider vinegar does something amazing. It goes around the usual broken paths. It does not need the insulin key that might be bent or broken. It slides right into the mitochondria and gets the cycle spinning again. Think of it like an old, trusty lawnmower that has been sitting in the shed all winter. You pull the cord by eating carbs and it coughs and dies because the parts are clogged. Acetate is like spraying starter fluid right into the engine. It lights up instantly. It forces the engine to turn over, burning the old fuel and getting the system hot and running again. Therefore, regular, small doses of this starter fluid can help wake up sleeping fat cells. It is not that the vinegar burns the fat by magic. It is that it turns the engine on so that the engine can burn the fat. It brings back the voltage. It brings the energy back to your muscles so you actually feel like moving again. And now, we arrive at the deepest discovery. This is revelation number 1. This is the idea that connects everything we have talked about. It explains why you may have felt that energy disconnect in the first place. We often think of insulin resistance as a body problem or a waistline problem, But top brain scientists are now helping us understand that the brain itself becomes insulin resistant. This is the critical failure point. Your hypothalamus is the command center that controls your weight, your energy, and your hunger. It needs energy to do this job. If your brain is insulin resistant, it is starving. It is shouting, "Eat more," because it cannot sense the fuel you already have. It is like a thermostat that is broken. It heats the house to 100 degrees because it thinks it is freezing. However, and this is the game changer, the acetate from apple cider vinegar acts as a specific, different fuel for the brain. It is the Metabolic Master Key. Imagine your brain is a high-security vault. The front door, representing insulin transport, is stuck shut. No matter how much fuel you have, it cannot get in. The guard inside, your hypothalamus, is panicking. Acetate knows about the side door. It slips through the blood-brain barrier, goes around the insulin resistance, and directly feeds the hypothalamus. Therefore, when your brain finally gets this energy, the panic stops, the starvation signals go quiet. The brain realizes, oh, we have plenty of energy. It reconnects with the body. This is why people often report such clear thinking and a sudden drop in cravings when they start this simple habit. It is not just hiding your appetite, it is solving the brain's energy crisis. This is the Neuro-Metabolic reset. By feeding the brain with acetate, you fix the signals that control your whole metabolism, and there you have it. That is our game-changing revelation number 1. It might seem surprising that a simple leftover from fermentation could be the key to waking up your brain's energy. But as we have seen, the biology is deep. It is not about magic, it is about mechanics. So, we have covered a lot of ground today. We started with our mental battery backup in Creatine. We moved to the hunger switch plan regarding protein. We set up the glucose guard with timing. We explored the spark plug renewal for mitochondria. And finally, we unlocked the Metabolic Master Key with brain acetate. Each one is a step toward a more lively, healthier you. Which of these ideas connected with you the most? Are you going to try the glucose guard timing with your dinner, or perhaps look into the mental battery support? I would love to know what you are thinking. Please share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this journey through these health discoveries valuable, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps others find our community, and do not forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more powerful strategies designed for our fantastic group of healthy seniors. Until next time, stay healthy, stay curious, and keep thriving.